Hey IDs, welcome to Module 4. This is probably my favorite of all the modules because it's where we, not only talk about project management in terms of those things, and raise the question of whether, IDs are bona fide project management managers, and whether they can include that officially in their job title, or is it not? That's a big question, and it's one that we're going to debate a little bit this week, hopefully. So that's an exciting thing, and of course we're going to be getting rolling on our project. This is really the rollout week for that, so that you can look forward to some of those exciting things, and there's more to come middle of the week actually, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I kind of want to go back to talking about the usability discussion that we had last week. It was a really good one, and it's an issue. The user experience thing is, it's one of those topics that I try to squeeze in because it's so important, right? That's kind of what I did, and I think the discussion kind of brought out some of these questions. The whole idea of when does the user experience kind of trump the learner experience, right? I mean, we've got to take that user stuff off the table so that we can get to the learning. If you're occupying your cognitive capacity with trying to figure out how to get from here to there, then you're occupying that space, and and all those neuron snaps and things like that are going on in your brain, and you're not there with the learning experience. So we as IDs got to be very intentional about taking that off the table, right, and making the user experience seamless. The learning curve that students have with whatever technology that they're using, we need to mitigate that right away. We need to take it off the table. We need to make it so that it's seamless, and we, of course, as instructors and as IDs, it's part of our job to make sure that we're making sure that the student has every possible opportunity to learn and is not being hung up with the technology or the user pieces that they're involved in it. It's very important for us, and it's actually very important, as you probably know, in the corporate world, because there's so much technology out there. There's so much reliance on using technology to conduct business. In fact, my brother is a user experience designer at a big insurance company in Boston, and so what he does is he tests for usability, and he works on their mobile application. What does he do? He has subjects come in, and he hands out a bunch of devices. He gives one person an iPad, one person an iPhone, one's got a really old Droid probably, and then of course they get a Pixel too, which is probably something that they're really kind of working on right now because it's reasonably new as far as I know. And he, will just say, here you go, and instructs them to do things. Like he'll say, take the mobile device and I need you to find the auto insurance application. And so they'll take that device and they'll play around with it, and they won't give them any clues. They'll film them, they'll interview them, and they'll make an assessment of how the user experience is going with each of those devices, and then they'll make the changes that are needed to make it so that it's seamless. And of course, for him, it's a very high stakes situation, because if you've got potential customers that are on the app that are trying to find that application, and they can't find it, and they get frustrated, well, they're going to put it away, and they're not going to go there, and then we're going to lose them as a customer. So it's really important for us. It's a little more noble, I think, in terms of what we're doing. We want to make sure that they have the best possible learning experience, so they can learn the best that they possibly can, right? So I mean, that's what came out of it, and that's some of the things that are really important. One of the things I noticed in there in that discussion was that some of you have some really good ideas on how we can mitigate it, right? The learner situation, and mitigate the user hang up. It's by giving very thorough directions. It's about maybe doing an introductory video on how to navigate a particular website, right? All of those types of things. So that was really good. Some of the things also that came out were like, what about the whole idea of assessing performances, right? I mean, that's what we really want to do. We want to make sure that students can apply what their knowledge is and be able to go into a situation and be able to put into practice what it is that they've learned, rather than taking a 50 question multiple choice and get a A- on it, right? That's good, I guess, but it's much more valuable, especially in today's day and age, when you can actually execute something. And that's what this course is really all about. That was my number one purpose, right? Is to be able to give students a Blackboard course that's empty and have them fill it up with thoughtful learning experiences when they're done. And you can't get any more experiential. You can't get any more, testing of performances more than that. So, again, hopefully you're seeing that, because that's what my purpose is with all of this. So, great job on the user experience, and I'm glad, because it's one of those things that kind of gets pushed to the side. We don't really think about it. But you were, so that was great. All right, so now with project the project management modules, module 4, and we're going to get into those questions of the responsibilities of what the project manager does, and whether that needs to be part of a preparation program, in terms of that, and just thinking about how is it that we manage our time, how is it that we plan out a project, how is it that we develop it. And things like that. They're all super, super important, and I hope that you get the most out of that. Now, let me just talk about the logistics of this week, and actually over the next 10 days. This is kind of like almost an extended module, really, that kind of runs over into next week. What we're going to do is, I want to encourage you to do a lot of what you see in Blackboard at present. As soon as you possibly can. There's there's 3 readings. They're all very good, and they're all good at those issues. There's 2 discussion threads, and they're kind of, I don't want to say heavy, but they're just involved. All right, and so I want you to please get that stuff out of the way, because on Wednesday at midnight there'll be a special announcement that'll come through, and then on Thursday morning. You'll all be getting a special email regarding the project. And so, Thursday morning is when we're launching the project, essentially on Thursday morning. And the planning for that is going to be, is going to begin then. There's going to be meetings that are going to be happening. There are, there's going to be a couple of assignments that are going to show up Thursday morning as well, that are involved in the first part of the project. So long and short of it is if you can, take care of your reading, take care of your discussions before Wednesday. That way you can kind of move along in your planning and in your meetings and things like that are going to happen afterwards. Okay, and that's really basically it. This is a really great module, like I said, and I'm really excited about getting involved in the project, and I can't wait to see the work. This class is particularly good. Just to let you know right now, based on the discussions and things. And I'm impressed with all of you. So this is going to be a fun project. So have a great week, and I will see you online. Bye.